A day out on the beach in the pristine Lakshadweep Islands. Prime Minister Modi on a rare few hours of relaxation, a snorkeling expedition, some quiet reflection on the sand. Well, this is what these pictures show. Talking about the beauty and warmth of the people in his own way, connecting directly with Indians and telling them about incredible part of India. Instead, his words set off a tense tsunami of words between the government of Maldives, 750 kilometers to the west, and Indian social media users. The trigger was an online battle of tweets and social media posts, with ministers of the newly elected Maldivian government making offensive remarks about Modi and Indians in general. Indian social media reacted immediately and sharply. It quickly escalated into suspensions of the Maldivian ministers and summoning of the envoy by New Delhi. The dust on this will settle quickly, as it does on any online battle. But there is a bigger story behind this temporary outrage. Maldives and India have been very, very close. They've been close allies culturally, diplomatically, and militarily. One of the best known and most successful Indian military interventions overseas was in Maldives. This was when the Rajiv Gandhi government sent Indian forces to the island state to actually stop a coup. This spirit of cooperation has continued in favor of India, obviously to the disadvantage, extreme dislike of China. But China has now pushed ahead with major infrastructure, including an upgrade of the Malé airport. Despite India's vaccine diplomacy with free COVID shots, monetary aid and military assistance, the new Maldivian government is not in new India's favor. In fact, in the middle of this online battle over tourism, the new president, Mohammad Muizzu, has left to visit Beijing. Unlike his predecessors, he's not yet come to India, at least yet. This has been a major concern for New Delhi. But what does all this have to do with going for a vacation to Maldives? Well, let's go back to those pictures of the Prime Minister in his visit to Lakshadweep Islands. Like everything that Modi does, there is a messaging in these pictures as well. It clearly says, India, come to Lakshadweep. The message set off the social media frenzy about tourism with some geopolitics thrown in as well. The majority of these posts were about choosing Lakshadweep over Maldives, with several celebrities setting the agenda themselves. There are many others who also joined in, including several tourism-related businesses announcing unofficial sanctions against those who were planning to visit Maldives. But is the Lakshadweep versus Maldives comparison fair? In fact, I would argue, should this comparison be made at all? Just look at these numbers for a moment. Just for the sake of comparison, Lakshadweep comprises 36 small islands scattered across 78,000 square kilometers. But its total land area is just about 32 square kilometers. The Maldives is collectively much larger, with 1,190 islands totaling 298 square kilometers in landmass. Lakshadweep is 496 kilometers from the coastal city of Kochi in Kerala, whereas Maldives is 750 kilometers. Lakshadweep is connected to Kochi by flight. Maldives is connected from most metros directly from India, and it is less than just about 3 hours away. Honestly speaking, folks, all this makes Maldives a great attraction for Indian tourists, especially for the well-heeled ones. In fact, Indians are at the top of the list of tourists who are going to Maldives. Till the month of December 2023, Indians were the highest number of tourists to be visiting Maldives. They have contributed to the consistent increase in Maldives' tourism-based economy. The numbers have gone up by 12.6% in 2023 in comparison to 2022. In 2021, more than 1 lakh people visited Maldives from India in the last 3 months of that year itself, which is about 1,250 passengers every single day. Even in the throes of COVID in 2020, the same months saw a total of 32,000 visitors. The Indian boom started in 2018 when the 51,000 passengers flew to Maldives in its first phase of expansion. This went up to 60,000 in the last 3 months of 2019. All these tourists are supported by a top-class hospitality sector with beaches, resorts, boutique hotels, guest houses with water sports, and many other entertainment-based activities. Similar things have been proposed for Lakshadweep as well. The Lakshadweep administration has floated global tenders for developing Maldives-like beaches, 370 water villas, and other ecotourism projects in 3 islands. But these islands have an extremely fragile coral ecosystem. There have been widespread protests as well, several objections from locals and experts who are operating in these territories. The administration says that while it wants to create growth with tourism development at its core, it does not want to do anything which will take away the basic natural beauty or will disrupt the actual flora and fauna of this area. The government has said that 80% of employment being generated by the projects will ultimately go to the local community. So it's a classic local economy versus nature kind of a debate which is playing itself out in Lakshadweep. So how can Indian beach and island destinations turn into global and domestic tourist hotspots? There is far more, honestly folks, to India's beaches than just going every year to go on New Year's. India has 12 blue flag beaches from the east to the west and even to the south. Odisha's Golden Beach, Gujarat's Shivrajpur Beach, Kapar Beach of Kerala, Diyu's Ghogala Beach, Radhanagar Beach in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Karnataka has its own Kasaragod and Padubiri beaches, the Rushikonda Beach of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala's Kovalam Beach, Eden Beach in Puducherry, then Lakshadweep's Minikoi, Thundi, and the Kadbat Beach. Blue Flag is an international badge for beaches which are certified world-class beaches. With 7,500 kilometers of coast across 9 states, there is immense potential for beach-based tourism in India. But getting these tourists needs more than nature's abundance. It needs an equilibrium of efficient touristy infrastructure, ecological concerns, and of course, great marketing. The Prime Minister's visit to Lakshadweep could well turn out to be the right trigger to catalyze these factors. But in the end, Lakshadweep is Lakshadweep. It should not be marketed as a rival for Maldives. Instead, it needs to have an identity of its very own.